Hi everyone. Well, I'm going to start this video out by showing you my outfit for today, but it's my weight loss journey. It's my story. It's a long video, I get it, but I wanted to share with you because you all have been so encouraging to me, and I thought I would share with you this time around how I have been able to accomplish my weight loss and almost to my weight goal. So if you're interested, stay tuned. It's long. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping in. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, a big welcome and a big thank you. A big thank you because for my regular subscribers, I have found that the interaction that we have shared has been just not only enlightening to me, but it has also encouraged me to just keep on sharing with you some of what I share. Today I'd like to share with you my thoughts on my weight loss journey. And I know I come on every week and I give like a little brief overall view of what maybe I've experienced for the week, a couple of the food items that I've tried, but I think today I'd like to talk to you since I'm getting so close to my goal weight, and that will put me into the next phase, which will be maintenance. And so I want to talk to you as a returning Weight Watchers individual who has joined Weight Watchers, became a lifetime member. Yes, that's correct. I became a lifetime member. And I did keep the weight off for several years, and I lost a good amount of weight. I talked to you about that in the very beginning, about that weight loss. And so what I thought I would do is talk to you about where I find the differences between that time era in my life and now, what I've learned, and just what has helped me along my way in my journey and how to be successful. So just to give you a little background, back in the 80s, and I think it was probably around maybe around 86. I'll have to double check on the date, but around that time is when I first joined Weight Watchers. And I had some things going on in my life also, health-wise. And so I think I had a weight loss of, it was over 60 pounds. And once I got down to what I felt was my goal weight, I dropped an additional 10 pounds on top of that. And it was because I had to have a surgery. And from that surgery, I just had a whole gamut of things that just were affecting my health. And one of them was I ended up having to have a complete and total hysterectomy. And it just, during that time period, I went down even to, an additional 10 pounds or 12 pounds even from where my goal weight was set. And I never really concentrated on getting into the maintenance program to learn it. And so at that point, I was also taking quite a bit of hormone pills because I did have to have a complete hysterectomy, and I was just in my early 30s at the time, and that really played a big part in my health and wellness, and it was a really rough period. But anyways, I did participate in an exercise program, and I was exercising pretty regularly, walking, riding my bike, doing jazzercise. I think that was popular at the time, just that type of thing. But again, I wasn't concentrating on really learning my body and getting into a lifetime of well eating, is what I would refer to it now. And so I just thought I would share with you some of my mistakes that I made, and hopefully I'll avoid those mistakes. And I have been avoiding them now, and talk to you about what I think has helped me in my success so far. So as of today, I'm down 43 pounds. I started the program in February of 2019. And I have been carrying around this excess weight for a number of years. And so let's go back to when I lost weight. So I lost weight, and then I went down even an additional 10 or 12 pounds from my goal weight. And I maintained that weight for quite a while. I'll say pretty regularly for about 4 years. Then I started having some issues a few years later with blood pressure problems, and I had to go on blood pressure medication. And blood pressure issues hereditarily run in our family. And at that time, I really wasn't carrying a lot of weight. I probably had put at that point, which would have been about maybe 5 years after I had lost all the weight, I started gaining, 5 pounds here, 10 pounds there. And most importantly, I stopped attending meetings, which I see now at this point how vital those meetings are. And so I wasn't going to meetings. My husband took a job transfer, so we were moving from Texas at that time to Illinois. So that was a big change. I had to relocate, get used to signing up with a whole new group of doctors. I was leaving behind the doctors that I had been with for, many years. And I just couldn't find what I considered a place where I felt comfortable again with Weight Watchers. I had attended a great Weight Watchers group when I was living in Texas, and honestly, it's excuse. It's just an excuse, because there's not just one meeting available to you. There are many meetings. And at the time that I first was with Weight Watchers, it wasn't called WW. And which has nothing to do with losing weight, but the program has changed. And I think it has just changed for the better. It's easier to follow. Of course, everything that's digital now makes it so convenient. Just the fact that you can go to the grocery store and scan an item and know exactly how many points it will be for you to add that to your diet. It's much more free, and there's a lot less weighing going on, and having to eat what I felt like years ago was just like a whole bunch of diet, quote unquote, type foods. I eat regular foods, but now I make that choice to say I'm going to have the sugar-free version, the no-fat version, or the lower-fat version, or the fat version, because I've learned that there are fats that are so important to your diet, and they're the good fats. And I've learned this time along the way that I can eat whatever I want. Key, I have to plan for it. And when I plan for it, I have to be able to execute actually participating in that type of meal. So I think the program is 1,000 times better than it was years ago. And I can tell you, years ago, I really concentrated on mostly Weight Watcher foods, a ton of Weight Watcher foods, breakfast, lunches, little desserts. I mean, it always seemed like, okay, incorporate one of those meals into your daily meal plan. And I'm sorry, but those meals do not satisfy me. I mean, in a pinch, okay, but I want real food because that's me. I love to cook. I like enjoying being in the kitchen, and I love to try new foods, and I love to take a recipe and make it my own. So those little frozen dinners don't always satisfy. So with that being said, that has also been a big change for me. So first of all, step one, commitment. Because I think for a number of years, what I did to myself was this. I convinced myself I could not lose weight. And the older I got, as I proceeded through my 40s, my 50s, I just felt like, well, it's a losing battle. I can't lose this weight. The older you get, the harder it is. So I would start a program. Okay, I lost weight on it. I couldn't keep it off. So the theory of I can't lose weight totally was not true. It was inaccurate. What I couldn't do was learn how to eat properly because I wasn't looking at the right program, and I wasn't looking at myself as to the type of eater that I was. So I went through a whole bunch of different plans. So I participated in the Atkins. And of course, I did a lot of this on my own. South Beach, Nutrisystems, keto, you name it, I tried it. The grapefruit, the cabbage soup diet, anything I could just grasp onto. And what did I find in common with all of those? Oh, sure, I can lose weight. But I was limiting myself to certain foods on those diets, such as carbs, Atkins, keto, the cabbage food diet. You're eating a bunch of cabbage, a bunch of vegetables, soups, okay, but what else are you having? The right amount of protein, the right amount of carbs. Are you recognizing good fats, bad fats? So I didn't grasp that the first time on a diet, the second time, the third time on a meal plan, or a meal, or a plan of action to lose weight. I didn't grasp it the 5th, the 6th, the 10th. Did I lose weight? Yes. And there were times that I lost a good amount of weight, 15 pounds, 18 pounds, shrunk down a little bit in inches. Did I keep it off? No. Did I put more back on? Yes. Why? Because my old way of thinking was, okay, I can lose it, but I can't keep it off. My body just doesn't want to keep it off. I don't eat that much. I'm just gaining weight. I'm getting older. Plus, I did a little research, and the blood pressure medication that I was on and am still on after, oh my gosh, I've been on it for over 25 years. And every doctor I went to, I asked if I could try something different. But for me, and for the purpose of my blood pressure and what goes on with me internally, this was the best medication. But one of the major side effects is, yes, it does have that makeup in the medication that it slows down responses, and part of that would be my metabolism. So I have to work really even harder and really pay attention to the types of foods that I eat to keep my weight down. And it was hard. It was such a struggle. And I had convinced myself I don't eat a lot. No, I don't, because I had some really bad habits, and some bad habits that I'm going to share with you, such as I could go all day, skip breakfast, skip lunch, go to work, be busy at work all day long. Okay, grab a little handful of nuts, a little few crackers, pick and pick, because I don't have time for lunch today. So by the time I get home, I am famished. And so I'm eating as soon as I walk in the door. I'm eating as I'm preparing dinner for us. I'm eating, and I'm eating all through dinner. And then I'm eating at snack to sit down and relax for an hour to watch TV or read something. I'm eating. So I am dumping into my system a whole lot of calories, and the majority of them not good calories, but I didn't starved myself all day long. I never gave my body the chance to get the metabolism started, to get it going, and to keep it going. And so then I would go up on the scales, I would go up in clothing size, and then I'd say, okay, I've got to go on a diet. I've just got to do this. Or an occasion would pop up, such as a wedding. A wedding popped up in the family. It was an important wedding to me. I wanted to be thinner. I wanted to look nice for that wedding. So I went on a meal plan. It worked. I lost weight. And all the meals were designed for you. You got to pick what you wanted, and all you had to do was rip open the lid or unscrew it, add some hot water, or stick it in a microwave, and that was your meal. Add your vegetable and salad, and easy, done. Done what? Okay, now I've lost the weight. Felt pretty good. Didn't quite get where I wanted to go, but I could get there after that. No, I couldn't. And slowly lost focus, and I don't really know what to eat if it's not coming out of a pre-ordered box or a carton, because I didn't learn. And so that failed. And then, now I gained what I had lost. Now add 10 or 15 pounds to it. And now I'm getting older, and now I'm still not exercising, still gaining, not losing, and going up in clothing sizes. And then after several years, I just leveled. I just kind of leveled at a very high weight for my body frame. I'm 5'3", and I just leveled. Okay, I wasn't really gaining. I might lose 4 or 5 pounds and just gain that 4 or 5 pounds. But I had some other life changes in my life, and sometimes I could just go and boom, drop 20 pounds, and then it would slowly go back up. And, I did some things that weren't so good. I refused to buy a bigger size clothing. So I just squished myself into a size 16 because I refused to buy an 18. And of course, adapted most of my pants and dress pants to elastic. Got to be comfortable. Don't want a zipper digging in me. All these things I would think about doing. And I love the big bulky look, mostly because I'm trying to cover up. And so it's really hard to see yourself. I think just as some people cannot see themselves being thin if they're excessively thin. Sometimes you just don't want to see yourself as being overweight until you see a picture and you're like, oh my gosh, do I really look that heavy? And was I feeling good? No. And several years ago, one of my doctors said, your blood sugar levels are slowly creeping up. So we got to keep an eye on it. We've got to watch. No big deal. No symptoms. I'm not worried about it. Doesn't run in my family, not me. And then a couple of years later, I gained a little more weight, went crying to the doctors. I can't lose weight. Please take me off of this blood pressure medication. No, we're not going to do that. That would not be good. You've got to learn to exercise. Here's a meal plan I want you to follow. So I'd look at it and try to follow it, go back to the doctors 3 months later and maybe lost 3 or 4 pounds. Okay, that's good. We'll take that 3 or 4 pounds. I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't excited about it. I still wasn't convinced, okay, that 3 or 4 pounds is going to stay off. And I was always claiming, I don't eat a lot. I don't eat a lot. No, but okay, yeah, there were times I ate a lot because it just tasted so good and I just didn't want to give my body, my stomach, the time to get the message to my brain like I'm full. So, okay, on occasion I would eat a lot. But I did bad things, going all day without eating or eating late at night. And then I also worked a shift at the hospital that was a late afternoon shift, noon until 10:30 at night. And I would get up in the morning, do my stuff around the house. I wasn't hungry. Sometimes I'd have a little lunch before I'd go in. And then I wasn't sitting down to eat dinner sometimes at work until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And then I'm starving. So I'm eating like all kinds of stuff that my body can't really digest and get rid of. And just a lot of bad habits led to that weight to keep creeping up and creeping up. And going back to the doctor a couple of times saying, okay, your blood sugar levels are getting to the point now, we're going to put you on medication. So the medication was not an insulin and just, trying to get things lowered and try to get some of the excess weight off because I refused to want to listen to anybody telling me that I'm going to have these diabetic type issues just because I'm a little overweight, because I wouldn't really look at the truth of it. And the truth is, yes, there are times that your health is in major jeopardy depending on the weight that you're carrying around. I refused to look at the size of clothing I was wearing and just said, oh, it's fine. For me, it's fine. I refuse to think, I'm not going to get diabetes. It doesn't run in the family. I can control it. So, metformin, 1 tablet a day, turned to 2 tablets a day. And then another medication is added. I never got to an insulin. And over the last, couple of years, it just kind of stabilized. But not to where it would drop down to those normal levels. And so I'm just overthrilled to report that as of my wellness check, I was removed. The doctor removed any type of diabetic medications. I don't have to take anything. Wants to see how I'm going to do. I'm going to get rechecked in 4 months. And my blood sugar levels have gone way down to the lower end, and now she wants to see how I can maintain. And with the proper food plan and exercise and being active, feeling more energy because you are losing weight, not feeling so run down and so tired, just gives you better health. It is all true. It is all true. And it is so difficult to convince yourself that you're doing that to yourself. I mean, I can't tell you the times I would walk out of the doctor's office and really be mad. Who am I mad at? I'm mad at them for telling me that, oh yeah, you're pre-diabetic, or, you're going to have these issues, or, going to the store and wanting to spend a little R&R time relaxing, shopping, and then being mad because I had to buy the bigger size, and because nobody makes, sizes that really fit you right, because I always had to go up to the bigger sizes. And so I'm mad at everything and everybody else, or I'm blaming, but I'm not taking responsibility for what I need to. And what comes into play? Okay, for me, some people go, oh, when I turned 40, I just had this light bulb moment and just have to do things for myself. Or 50, my kids are grown and gone and on their own. I've got to do this for myself. Well, for me, it really was how I was feeling. I was feeling yucky. I was feeling tired all the time, achy. I wanted to get the weight off. And I wanted, more than anything, to stop blaming everybody else and everything else. And I wanted to take responsibility. I wanted to make myself accountable for me. And that's what I did. I made the decision. I am going to do this. I'm not going to buddy up with anybody. I'm not going to, say, hey, will you do this program with me? Because I know if we do it together, we'll be successful. I did this strictly for myself because I needed to. And I'm glad I did, because even with my weight loss at this point, I have been able, like I said, to come off of medication. I attend a weekly meeting. And I will continue to attend a weekly meeting. Now, when you're on maintenance, you only have to weigh in once a month. But I have to attend a weekly meeting every week because it holds me accountable. I want to learn what they're learning about themselves. I've learned so much about truth for myself just by listening to other people. It's kind of encouraging and inspiring when you hear someone else say, oh yeah, I struggle because I was so upset the other day because, this or that, an emotional upset. And it just put me right smack in the middle of my cabinet chewing on a bag of cookies. Oh, I'm not the only one that does that. I want to know that I can get into the kitchen, I can cook meals, I can eat good foods, I can taste good foods, I can smell those good foods, and I can enjoy them. And I don't have to live a life saying, I can't have that ice cream, I can't have that piece of pie. I want to be on a program that says I can control it, I can have it, I can plan for it and account for it. And that's what Weight Watchers is for me. That's what it's all about. It's about accountability. It's about taking care of yourself, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. And so for me, this has been the absolute best program. I went back to it. Why? Because I know it works. I had proof that it worked. I just didn't complete the circle. I didn't complete it. And to me, when you think about a circle, like there is really no beginning and no end. But if it's a part, if you're starting somewhere and you get to a completion point, then you continue along that circle and you don't get off of it. If you do, or you stray from it, at least this time I've learned, okay, so what? So I did a little binging for that meal. I don't convince myself, oh, you blew it. Okay, now what? You might as well just eat the rest of the bag. Trust me, I would tell myself that. Okay, so you blew it for today, so just forget about it. Just eat whatever you want. And then tomorrow's another day. No, what I do is I try to stop myself right in the middle of, oh, I'm so stressed right now. I'm just grabbing cookies. Okay, so maybe I will eat one of those cookies and maybe two. And then I will put the bag away. I'm not waiting until tomorrow. I'm going to stop it right then. And then I'm going to get right back on the right track. My train thoughts are going right back on the right thought, forging ahead. My next food or the next choice that I make for food will be the right choice, the correct choice. So that's kind of my story of being a Weight Watchers lifetime member, falling off the wagon, and getting back on the wagon or back on the train, heading forward, being successful, having accountability, and changing my entire thought process of how I eat, and enjoying the whole process, enjoying actually losing weight. It might seem odd that I would say, well, yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed feeling my clothes getting looser. I've enjoyed going every week and going, oh, okay, another 4 ounces, another 6 ounces. I'm on the right track. That made me happy. So I had to find the enjoyment in this process, or I would look at it as a total drudgery. Like, how am I ever going to lose 50 pounds? That's my goal, guys. And I've lost 43 of it. So I'm almost there. And, do I have those bad eating days? Yeah. Have I? Oh, sure. They haven't lasted for an entire day, but I've had an episode or two where I've just gotten out of bed and said, I'm hungry. I'm just hungry. So what I'm doing is I'm actually listening to my head. My body's telling me something and my head is telling me something, but they don't always agree. So now I have certain keys that trigger. Okay, am I hungry? Am I bored? Let's assess it. Go drink a big glass of water. If water isn't going to do it for you, add some lemon. Drink some, no sugar lemonade or tea. Let it get into your system. Here's what I've learned that has just been so vital to me, and that is, am I really hungry? If I am, I'm going to eat that apple. But if I go and go, nah, I don't want the apple, I'm not really hungry. I'm fidgety. I'm craving, I'm wanting, but maybe I don't want something that's good for me. So I have certain tools that I have just instilled into my brain. Figure out what's going on. Are you anxious? Are you emotionally eating right now? Are you hungry? Drink a glass of water. Give yourself at least 15 or 20 minutes to see, does the sensation come back? Am I still feeling I'm hungry? I want something to eat. Because I guarantee you, if it's true hunger, if for some reason your body is just telling you you need something more, you will eat the apple. So what comes along with that? Putting and making sure you have the apple in your refrigerator at all times. I eat an apple every day. Okay, sure, it's got some carbs in it. I don't care. They're accounted for. That is something that fills me up. A big glass of lemon water and an apple will take my hunger away. Now, and get me to my next meal so that I don't binge, so that I don't overeat. But there's been an occasion, I can remember 2 occasions where I literally got out of bed close to midnight and just like, I'm hungry. So I got up and I had a drink of water and I'm like, no, don't eat. It's late. You're breaking your fast, which is another important thing that I've done, is just try to stop eating. I will not try to eat anything past 7 o'clock at night. Some do it at 6 o'clock. Some make their supper meal their lightest meal. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. It just depends on what's planned for that day. But I've gotten out of bed and I'm hungry. That water didn't do it. Okay, and one time I got out of bed and I actually went and cut a half an apple. An hour later, I got up and thought, I am really hungry. So I went and fixed myself a bowl of low sugar cereal that I keep in the pantry and grape nuts or something like that. And I chopped up the rest of the apple, put it in there, added a little bit of 2% milk. That's what I wanted. It satisfied me. I went to bed. Did I beat myself up for it? No, I did not. Had I planned that day? No, I did not. But I'm learning to respond to my body, I feel, in the right way. it satisfied me. That's what I needed. And I needed it for some reason that day. But I didn't just go, oh, well, I blew it, so I might as well, since I'm midnight snacking, might as well have, 4 or 5 cookies or a candy bar, or maybe just go get myself a bowl of ice cream. I didn't do that. So I still feel like I made the right choice for me. So these are some of the tips that I can share with you that have really helped me. And I just feel like they're keys. And, first is the commitment to yourself. Second, I think, is willingness, the willingness to open up your way of thinking, to listen and not listen. Listen to new information, not listen to, others saying, you're not going to lose weight at your age. I mean, it's ridiculous. Eat what you want. Enjoy your life. Some people saying, oh gosh, all that weighing, all that counting, all that, it's not for me, and so you have to listen, to have an open mind, to engage new ideas for yourself, and then you have to block some of the outside information that's detrimental to you. One thing I did not mention to you is, in the beginning, I went in with a strong commitment. I'm going to do this and I'm going to be successful. And I told myself nothing else. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be successful. This is going to work for me for the rest of my life. And the biggest thing is I will not be a slave to the scale. I do not want to be a slave to the scale. I have to be accountable every week for my weigh-in through Weight Watchers. But I did not keep a scale into my house until last week. And the reason I have a scale now is because my daughter-in-law had 2 scales and said, and this one was a newer scale too, and she just said I had to buy another one because when they moved, I guess it had gotten packed, and so she said, if you want it, you can have it. So I thought, okay, I'll take it home, because she said, when you're on maintenance and you're only going to weigh in once a month, you're still going to want to hold yourself accountable. And I thought that's true. But again, I am not a slave to, I want to be able to recognize, seeing, tasting, knowing what I'm doing, meal planning, strategizing, prepping. I want to do all that. I want to focus on that and not focus on that number, because that number is very detrimental. I mean, if you have a weight gain during the week before your weigh-in and it's a pound, you could get so discouraged, like I did the last time I was on the program, to where I was like, well, I gained a pound, so how am I going to get that off in 3 days when I have to go weigh in? Okay, just forget it. I'll just count this week as a loss. No. I refuse to do it. So my big commitment to myself was I will not be a slave to the scale, and I have not been. I will not be, and that's why I did not keep a scale at home. Now that's just for me. So commitment, willingness to change your thought process, your thought, figure out what you know about yourself from the very beginning of what works and what doesn't work. If you lacked in going to meetings before, or if you felt like I want to be on a program by myself and not have to interact with others, I don't want that for myself, rethink your thoughts and know that other people are in your boat. And there's just so much support, especially at the meeting I go to. I love it. I can't even think of not going there for that short period of time. And do whatever it is that you know you need to do for yourself. Not anybody else, but for you. This is about you. You might have to say no to others in attending something because it could be too tempting for you in the beginning until you really learn where your strong points are. Do those things. They're important. Don't be ashamed or embarrassed to say, I am doing something for myself, and we're going to get together at a night where it's just all dessert buffets, and right now that's too tempting for me, so I have to pass. If you have to do that once in a while in the beginning, then do it. You do whatever you need to do to be successful, not to be rude, and you don't have to justify yourself to others. That's the other thing. It's so hard explaining to others, oh, I'm on Weight Watchers. So what does that mean? I can go to any restaurant, including fast food, and I know I can order something that's well within my meal plan for the day. So number 4 is spend some time prepping ahead. It's important. It's important so that you always have something planned, especially when you're getting those emotional eating days or you just are hungry. It helps you stay on track for your meals. Plan your meals out. And I say prep. Take that one day and do some meal preps. I'm telling you, it just makes a huge difference. And my 5th one is find enjoyment in what you're doing. Because if you go into this with the right attitude and you look at every ounce as something joyful, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but if you do that, it encourages you to go on to the next ounce and the next ounce, and that ounce adds up to the next pound and the next 10 pounds and the next 20 pounds or whatever it is. And don't be in a race. Don't be competing against someone else, and don't compare yourself to someone else because everybody's body is different. And so my next phase to go on to maintenance when I get there, and I have not set a time frame as to when I'm going to get these last 7 pounds off. It's when I do. But my next phase will be maintenance and really getting back into some sort of an exercise program. And for me, I think it's going to be a yoga. I want to do some back strengthening, and that's what I'm interested in. So some beginner's yoga and keeping myself with and being engaged with Weight Watchers and attending weekly meetings. I am still going to make that commitment to myself. And it's great because I won't have to pay as long as I'm within my goal weight and I don't gain. So darn well, I'm going to stick to that. And so that's all. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. And if I can encourage you, if you're in a situation that you need to lose weight and you just want to get, even if it's 10 pounds off, and just start thinking and eating healthier and better for yourself, make a commitment, and then do some research and find out what will work for you. And I think Weight Watchers is wonderful. I think it's just an overall balanced program, and I think starting next week, I could be wrong, or the week after, they're coming out with a whole new phase of Weight Watchers, and I'm excited for it because I know it'll just be better. So until my next video, be kind, be humble, and age gracefully. Bye. Guys, I just thought I would share my outfit for today. I'm on my way to church, and I just thought I'd share with you. I picked this nice, comfortable, long sleeve gray, soft, like brushed cotton dress at Old Navy, and I just have on a pair of opaque black tights, shoes that I've had for several years. I don't even know the brand of them, but they're just really comfortable black shoes. And I am going to carry my shawl that I bought this year at TJ Maxx because it is a little bit chilly outside, and I'm always cold inside church, and it will warm up here this afternoon, I think, to the upper 60s, but just in case, that's what I have on. And I have on my Nubella gray pearl convertible necklace, and just a pair of my little pearl earrings, and a, let's see, what else do I have? My Tiffany heart bracelet that I always wear, bracelet here that is from Stella and Dot. And
And so that makes up my outfit for the